All right, everyone, let's go ahead and dive back into the Bitcoin price action as we prepare for all-time highs and maybe a bit of weekend chop, as I don't expect anything too crazy to happen. As I was saying yesterday, don't be long in the top. Expect some quick flushes here as we do go into the weekend and whatnot, and then maybe next week is when we can actually get that breakout of all-time highs. But the low should hold, and I think the low is still going to hold. We can see while we did get a nice flush here on long positions, still holding the higher lows, and it was very fast. If you saw this morning on the chart, this was clearly a liquidity event, right? A big stop hunt on the 5-minute candles here. You can see how fast that did happen. Now hunting back up, and I do think this new low will go ahead and hold. But yeah, now with these two nice long flushes, back testing it into this volume cluster, now once we go ahead and start hunting back up here, it's going to go very quick. As I've been saying, will it happen over the weekend? It very possibly could. Could leave a CME gap, and then maybe that'll be a bit more warning when we do get to all-time highs. Hey, we left the CME gap behind. It might get filled back into, which could signal an early onset parabola, or maybe it does play out like last cycle, where you see over here on the CME chart, when we actually break out into all-time highs and start this big parabola, we do start leaving some CME gaps behind, and it's not necessarily a warning sign, and we don't really retrace back into it at all, maybe other than years later down the line when we do enter the next bear market. So we'll see what happens there. It's not out of the equation that a weekend pump could actually kick off the breakout over here on Bitcoin into all-time highs, and with the structural setup we have here on the charts, yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility, as we already got this big flush. We look over here at trading light to look at the open interest, and you can see just how big of an open interest flush that was. We really did take out all of the long positions this time, which is awesome to see. And you don't just see a ton of longs piling back into the market. Open interest is still pretty flat. CVD is still pretty flat. So not a bad sign to see there over in the order flow. Something to note right now is Bitcoin is definitely outperforming the market. You'll probably notice this across the board that altcoins, meme coins, everything is underperforming Bitcoin massively. We can see that by the Bitcoin dominance continuing to skyrocket up, as well as total 3 has not reclaimed value and actually made a lower low there. So while Bitcoin made the higher low on the wicks and maintained value, right, we're sitting right within that volume again. Total 3, lower low, and sitting below the volume. So definitely still Bitcoin's time to shine, but I don't think that's any cause for rotations into Bitcoin at all. No, once everybody starts getting focused on Bitcoin and starts realizing that the alts are underperforming is usually when you have that rotation back to alts, right? There's going to be a capitulation out of these risk on assets before they truly start to run. And I think we're already starting to see that, as I'm sure many people have already rotated out of alts into Bitcoin, or have decided to go ahead and try to chase pumps on Solana and gotten wrecked there over in the meme coin space. So essentially, best move in the market right now is to just hold high conviction plays. That's what I've been doing. Don't think there's any need to do anything crazy, because assuming Bitcoin breaks all-time highs here in the next week or so, it's going to get crazy no matter what you're holding. As long as it's decently solid, it should start to fly as Bitcoin sucks through all of this liquidity and retail jumps right back into the market. As we break through 75K, maybe even 100K, we're going to see a lot of euphoria returning to the markets, and that's where we'll get very cautious, right? That's where I'm going to try to do longer format videos instead of just these quick updates. As of right now, there's really not too much to say on the charts, just kind of chopping sideways. Still just kind of a waiting game, but I am very confident in what is about to happen. So we can just sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, see what does play out here. There is always the chance we get a bigger pullback, so I don't think that's not possible. That could happen, although I like structure where it is right now. My bet is that this does kind of just maybe chop for a couple more days and then head straight up to all-time highs. If not, just kind of go for it right now. Something like this makes a lot of sense to me. So we'll see what does happen. Only time will tell. If you do have any questions about anything I talked about, though, link to my Discord is in the description down below. And then also down below, you'll see all of my exchange partners. Feel free to check those out. Use my referral links to sign up if you want to get yourself some nice rewards and bonuses. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.